I was not going around this country to point out the problems. I was not going around the country to say, oh God, look at this backwards hillbilly, or look at this stuck-up city person. That was not my mission. My mission was to show you the positive things that were going on in this country, to be an antidote to the news. When I got to Mississippi in particular, there was one young man who reached out to me, and he hadn't done his research, right? Most people had done their research and they were welcoming, they were excited that I was coming. Well, he sent me an email and he said, you better not say one negative word about Mississippi because we have enough. We've had enough. And I went to meet him, still friends with him today. His name is Cyrus Webb. And here is a young man who had tried to commit suicide 3 times before he was 21.
Oh.
His 3rd time, he was still in the hospital from his prior attempt. And when he didn't succeed, he said, you know what, maybe I'm not supposed to die. But here is a kid who grew up in Mississippi, where the news told him he was going to be dead by his 20s anyway. He was going to be in a gang, he was going to be doing drugs, he was going to commit some kind of a violent crime. Mm-hmm. And that was his future. And here's a kid who loved to read, very active Republican. He didn't look like the people who were around him.
Right.
And he didn't know what to do. And when he had that 3rd attempt, he said, you know what? I love to read and people around me don't. His parents understood it and recognized him and got him books. I mean, he was lucky. But he tried to find a book club. Well, guess what? In Mississippi, they didn't allow men in book clubs. So he couldn't come more than twice because twice made him a member. And you couldn't be a member of a book club if you were a male in Mississippi. So he started his own book club, Conversations Book Club. He now has a magazine and a radio show, some million subscribers to his radio show, some 400,000, I think he's about what he's hitting on his magazine. And he started the conversation around literacy and that you don't have to be a geek. He started hip hop and books as one of his things. And he gets the actual authors, the hip hop stars who are writing these books, and they do. The hip hop stars write books. Yeah. And they come and talk to his group.
I love that.
He changed the conversation.
And he changed the conversation in an area where it's so critical right now.
So critical.
So critical for those next steps.
And he reached out to me and said, you don't say one negative thing about Mississippi. And I reached back and say, I don't say one negative thing about America.